To the modern mind, the system of animal sacrifice described in the Old Testament, particularly in the book of Leviticus, can seem brutal, primitive, and deeply strange. The image of priests slaughtering bulls, goats, and lambs on an altar is a world away from modern worship. Why would a loving God demand such a bloody and seemingly archaic ritual? To understand this, we must first recognize that Israel did not invent animal sacrifice. They regulated it. In the ancient Near East, sacrifice was the universal language of religion. It was the primary way humans interacted with the divine. The key to understanding the biblical system is to look at the specific symbolic meanings it assigned to these common rituals. The first and most important function of sacrifice was atonement for sin. The core principle is laid out in Leviticus 17, "For the life of a creature is in the blood, and I have given it to you to make atonement for yourselves on the altar." It is the blood that makes atonement for one's life. In the ancient worldview, blood was the literal life force. The penalty for sin was death. In a substitutionary sacrifice, the sinner would place their hands on the head of the animal, symbolically transferring their sin and guilt onto the creature. The animal's death then served as a substitute. Its lifeblood paid the penalty that the human deserved. This was not a magical transaction, but a powerful, physical drama that taught a profound lesson. Sin is not a trivial matter. It has a cost, and that cost is death. It was a visceral reminder of the gravity of offending a holy God. A second, often overlooked function was fellowship and communion. Not all sacrifices were about sin. The peace offering, for example, was essentially a sacred, communal meal. A portion of the animal was burned on the altar as God's portion, a portion was given to the priests, and the rest was eaten by the worshiper and their family in a celebratory feast. It was a ritual of communion, a way of sharing a meal with God and reaffirming the peaceful relationship or covenant between them. It was about thanksgiving and celebration, not just guilt. A third function was dedication and worship. Sacrifices were a tangible form of worship. By offering the best of their flock and animal that had real economic value, the worshiper was giving something costly back to God. Acknowledging that all their possessions and their very life came from Him, it was the ancient equivalent of the tithe, a physical act of devotion that demonstrated that God was first in their lives. The entire system, while foreign to us, was a complex symbolic language designed to teach the Israelites about the seriousness of sin, the possibility of forgiveness, the joy of communion, and the importance of total dedication to God. For Christians, this entire system is seen as a foreshadowing of the work of Jesus, whose death is viewed as the final, ultimate sacrifice that makes the older, repeated animal sacrifices obsolete.